start to talk again. So now, all of you, now let us begin. For the past 2 days, I have taught you the formulas, the principle. It is still very new for many of you. And in this class, this is the highest level in Universal Energy School. For that reason, on the first day as well as yesterday, I have taught you and you went home and you apply directly. It's not like a practice. Listen carefully. During the time that you are applying, after the end of the class, you continue to apply these techniques. And through your applications, you would spend more time and you would be able to help in many situations. Not only that you learn and just for treatment alone. Among the cases, as we learn, one of the issue is about health. And secondly, you are able to help the world in the case of the environment contamination, water, electricity. These are the main issues for the humankind. For that reason, our teachings, it is not that you are only learning about the healing technique alone, but for us, for a preventive way, it is so easy. It is not so difficult. Through the past 18 years of my teaching, as you know, all of the case of sickness all over the world, perhaps it may lead to death, or perhaps they are incurable, even though the percentage that we are able to achieve is not as our wish, 50 to 70%, but at least we are able to achieve 10 to 30%. These are the cases that people may lead to death, including the case of AIDS that we are able to save. It never been recorded in history. A number of the students who know that in their life with AIDS they are about to die. They thought that they died, but through the past 10 years, after they learned UE, the immune strength had improved and the symptoms is still stabilized. They are able to go out and have the normal life and working, and also to work in UE for the past 10 years without any other complications. I cannot guarantee totally we can help, but at least 30%. We only need 5% at achievement, then we can see the result over the world. Because in the case of AIDS, it is incurable. Additionally, there are many other problems, like in the case of coma, in the case of paralysis, in the case of people with handicaps, that medical doctors in the hospitals, they confirm these are the problem, that the people may die in 3 or up to 6 months. But the UE students all over the world, a number of you who are not medical doctors, a number of you who are applying the healing technique, or you applying traditional medicine, or you applying acupuncture, combining with the UE techniques, we are able to solve so many cases that supposedly they die in several months or a year, but we are able to prolong their life for 3 up to 5 more years. So that as they can make all the preparation for their family, to bring peace to their family, even if they die peacefully. That is the purpose of the establishment of UE School. After my 18 years of teaching, perhaps we are helping hundreds of millions of people around the world with the case of sickness. And in the most severe case, that a number of you who are in the field of medicine, Eastern or Western medicine, combining with the teaching of UE, you are able to solve the problem all over the world. That I have presented to you, that is not our main objective. Our main objective is how can we help to reduce the case of the threat of Earth with the energy, with the catastrophe, tsunami, pollution in the environment, air contamination, virus contaminate into the air, that might cause effect to one country or another, one region to another. That is a global concern in the whole world. In the case of sickness, that a number of you in the field of medicine, especially for those of you who are pharmacists, you are only just stop the symptom, but you are not able to cure. We can help to heal. That is one of the special case that had never been anywhere in the world. We have never seen this existence. I just share with you why, so that you have the sufficient immune system in order to serve people in many aspects in the field of science, in the environment, not just only in the field of medicine alone. I want to explain that point for you because this seminar in Australia, in Thailand, in Holland, a total of 1,541 of you from all over the world, you come to these 3 locations to learn that I have been teaching you for the past several days. Hopefully, after this seminar, you will have the opportunity as you go back to your homeland. You can help your country. Furthermore, you can help the communities around the world. And particularly, as I've been teaching for 18 years, this time this is the highest level that the total number of Iranian, the highest people. You know that in Iran, the main religion is Islam. It's so difficult. But for those of you in Iran, you spend the time to come to learn everywhere in the nearest. You come to Thailand. This time, in the highest level, with 50 of you, the Iranian from all walks of life, from a normal person to a scientist, from an ordinary person to a highest ranking people in a society, that you come to learn. 50 of you from Iran who come to Thailand to learn the highest level in universal energy, so that you can come back to your homeland to contribute, to help in many aspects, not only in the field of medicine or complementary medicine, or just to prevent from sickness alone. In fact, if I'm only teaching you about the complementary medicine, then we do not have that much time to teach you for a long time. Perhaps I only just teach you for 1 week everything. But you need to learn everything in all the aspects. Among the lessons that I've been teaching you, like I mentioned to you 15 years ago, in 1,000 subjects, the healing technique is only 1 of 1,000, so you need to learn 999 more subjects that you have gone through from level 1 up to the level 19. This is the highest level, so everything that I have achieved, everything that I have, as I teach, I transfer all to you, so that you and me, all of us, we can contribute to serve our people, our country, and furthermore, the communities around the world. And for you in the UE school, you have been and continue to help. It doesn't mean that only from this class, I remind you to do it. At the present time, the number of UE students, perhaps more or less 3 million around the world, but we have 1,541 of you in the highest UE level, because a number of you, because of your fate and destiny, you would not be able to make all the arrangements to come to learn. The important part is, in the year 2007, I trained you, many of you in higher levels. In summary, a number of you who sacrifice your personal life, your job, your business, in order to come to this 3 locations to learn the highest level in UE, then for sure, more or less, you will be beneficial to your country, your homeland. In the nearest, that would be your family. That is my general reminder for all of you, because this is the highest level that I'm talking very fast, but you try your best to make the arrangement. And more importantly, sometimes you are not clear with all the points. For the past few days, as I received the phone call from many locations who asked me to repeat, so that through the translation it is clearer for all of the languages around the world, so you can hear. You are right here, it is better for you. I'm only teaching you only several languages here: in English, in Thai, in Chinese, in Hungarian, in French, in Russian. But in Holland, they have 14 other languages. In Thailand, they have 8 languages. So in summary, we have a total of 14 languages. You are here very fortunate that you learn in person from me. If you have problem, if you have doubt, you are right close to me. And there are some people, either me or Teresa, we are able to answer and clarify for you if you want to know right on the spot, so that you are able to apply correctly to bring the benefit to help yourself and others. So now you listen carefully. Perhaps before the end of the class on Saturday, perhaps on Friday, I will tell Vũ to make a summary in English and in Vietnamese so that we can send by email to Holland, to Thailand, so you can translate the basic about the techniques, how you transfer energy, how you can merge, how you merge to object, how you merge to a human, how you can transfer energy to many regions, so that you have the basic documents so you can go home, you can practice to avoid the case sometimes you write the notes in one way or another, it is not clear, it's not uniform. So before the end of the day of the seminar, I will send by email to Holland so you can translate into other languages. In the same way to Thailand, right here, we have in 2 languages, but a number of you, the translator, who can translate into Russian, Hungarian, Chinese, or Italian, then you can, perhaps it will be only 1 page, you can translate into your own language in order to help the students as they are not able to speak the other language, so they can understand, so they can apply correctly. One more time, I remind you about the technique to practice. All of you, you listen carefully. Only when you do the treatment, then you receive the light of God's aura. In all the situations, you do not apply the light of God's aura. Now, for individual treatment or collective, or for yourself, for others, or collective treatment, when you treat yourself, then you receive the light of God's aura into your head 2 seconds, and that's all. You pray for my soul to merge with your soul through your chakra 6 3 times, a maximum of 30 seconds. 3 times, a maximum of 30 seconds. And if you merge 1 time, is also the maximum of 30 seconds. And listen carefully. It doesn't mean that 1 time is 30 seconds and 3 times is 90 seconds. If you do it too much, I will not enter to you and you drive me out. So you have to remember. 1 time when you merge, it is 30 seconds, and 3 times when you merge, it is also a maximum of 30 seconds. My point is, do not do it too slow. That is how I explain for you. Now let me give you an example. Let's say you are doing the treatment collective for the people in front of you. So for you, you know, you only need to receive the light of God's aura 2 seconds into your head for self-treatment. As you pray for my soul to merge into your soul 1 time, if you have a minor problem, 3 times if you have a severe problem. That is for yourself, self-treatment. For a person in front of you, maybe far away, you receive the light of God's aura 2 seconds, you transfer energy 3 seconds to the chakra 7 of that person. Then you merge to that person 1 time if it is a minor problem. If the person has a severe problem, then you merge 3 times. Then, now let's say you have a collective list right here. With the collective list from 2 up to no limits. The names of all the patient, or even the box of photographs right here, you place right in front of you right here. You receive the light of God's aura 2 seconds. You send to the box of the photographs or the list 3 seconds. And afterwards, you merge to the list 3 times. No more than 30 seconds. No more than 30 seconds. You merge 3 times. Merge to the list 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. No more than 30 seconds. For that reason, all of you, in the morning when you wake up, you practice, you pray for my soul to merge with you in a day, so that the whole day you can merge individually or collectively to any people. You don't have to ask my soul to merge with you. Whether you do it individually or constantly, you don't have to ask my soul to merge with you. However, I know, especially the Vietnamese, or a number of you, you feel it is not safe. So in the evening, you pray, ask my soul to merge with you again, just to be safe. I know your mentality, so there's no problem. If you ask my soul to merge with you, and before you go to sleep, you ask my soul to merge with you, there's no problem with that. Since you do that, you look more beautiful. I saw that many of you, you look younger. The reason I tell you like that, because many of you say that I look young. That is a formula. In the case of tsunami, disaster, flood, tornado, when you pray, remember, you never transfer energy. Just like in the past, in the house of these souls who are ancestors practicing black magic, their souls are not going back to the light. Then you have to reuse the light of God's aura and send 3 seconds there 9 times. Now, we don't do that anymore. All of you in level 20, you do not use the light of God's aura anymore. The only one that is for the treatment, and any other technique, you do not use it. So that is how I standardize for you. I will have a summary note in English and Vietnamese for you, so you will have, before the end of the class, as you go back home, you can apply more efficiently. That is how I summarize for you, so it is easy for you to understand, so you don't get confused. I say that it is best that you have a piece of paper. If you forget, then you can look at the piece of paper, so for the Vietnamese, you read in Vietnamese, it's better for you. So now, all of you in Holland, since you have a lot of students, I let you have 4 questions, in Thailand 3, and Australia 3. So now, yesterday in Holland, you have 1 more question. And then it is time for Thailand to ask. And after Thailand, then it is our turn in Australia. So now, Holland, you can ask.
Posso? Querido mestre, viemos do Brasil e agradecemos profundamente a oportunidade de estarmos aqui no nível 20. Agora eu tenho 3 perguntas. O senhor nos disse para nos unificarmos com a sua...
I have 3 questions. You said to us to merge with your soul, and for the understanding of this new 101 soul. Can you tell us more about this 101 soul? We receive her completely at the end of level 20, or we will receive it little by little. If I'm in the street, can I merge with the people that I find in my way? About the UE water, with the salt and sugar that we drink instead of the common water. How do we do the merging? Thank you, Master. We are a group that came from Brazil, and we thank you deeply the opportunity of being here in level 20.
Now, let me explain for you. You have gone through 18 and 19 times of the changes through your learning in UE. This time, your soul is permanent. This soul come to you. This soul will stay with you permanent. It has a lot of capacity to help you to complete the mission that God had given to you. It is not 101. You gone through 19 of them. This time it's a 21, not 101 of them. 101 is that my lesson 101. For you, all of the soul from the first time when humans are on earth, you all learn the 100th lesson. And the last one, I learned the 101st lesson, so that I can update whatever you need. I can update and help you, so you can complete the mission at the present time. In every aspect, listen carefully. And now, with the UE water, as you know, 500 milliliters of water with 350 ml of liquor, with the garlic, with 10 grams of salt and sugar. So each ingredient for the UE garlic water, you merge to each ingredient. And after you mix the whole, put in a container, then you merge 1 more time. After 72 hours, you take out the garlic and you put the water in the fridge. Before you put it into a bottle to put in the fridge, you merge 1 more time. Then you keep in the fridge, then you can drink. Through this, I explained for you, in a case with the environment, we need to prevent in order to improve our system. In the morning, afternoon, at night, after a meal, and you just drink 10 ml if you don't have any problem. If you have sickness, any form of sickness, in the morning 30 ml, in the afternoon 30 ml, and at night 30 ml. Remember, during the situation right now, as the American government, I have many students from America. I have lived in America. In America, they send warning to all the citizens to prepare this time. In the case of the flu epidemics, that may spread, so that you need to prepare for yourself with the food and the medication. So when the flu virus spread, you have a chance to stop. That is in the field of medicine. That is But I was in America, I know. The American population of 300 million, the hospital and the vaccine, they are limited amount. Any state, if suddenly thousands of people all together with the flu epidemics, they don't have enough vaccine to supply. Because the American government knew this time the flu epidemics is not like in the previous years. Perhaps the mutation of the virus, as the virus may be very powerful, that may cause problem to the lungs, that there is no vaccine, then for sure it will lead to death. Therefore, as I learned a lesson from the deities, to make the UE garlic water to help all of the UE practitioners. However, when there is an epidemic that is spreading, when there is no vaccine, the hospital, there is no room, then you can help. It's not too late then. I have prepared everything already. I prepare for everywhere. First, in Southeast Asia, they don't have enough vaccine, they don't have enough doctors. For that reason, with the limited means, you are able to use the UE garlic water. It is very easy to mix. In Australia, over here, for a poor person to make the UE garlic water, it may be costly because the garlic, it is very expensive. The garlic imported from Italy or from Russia, it is costly. Imported from China, it is $5-6 per kilogram. I use a Chinese garlic. That is not as important. The important part is, do you have the ability or not? Can you transfer energy so that the ingredient, that the mixing, so that you are able to improve the immune system to fight against a virus? Do you have that ability or not? That is what I'm teaching you, with the condition that you have to learn from the level 16 and higher. Lower than level 16, you don't have the ability to do this. However, more or less, you make the UE garlic water when it is needed. You can give it to the large UE family or your own family. There's no problem with that. So you listen carefully. In summary, starting from now, food, drinks, vegetables, they have a lot of contamination all over the world. To avoid the case that we are contaminated, when you are in level 19, I told you to receive a light of God's aura 2 seconds and send 3 seconds to the food and the drinks before you cook. And after you cook, you transfer energy again. Now you don't have to transfer energy. However, to avoid the case of being contamination, so after you cook, when you put all the meal on the table, you merge all the food, so you are able to neutralize all the toxin. It is so easy, only 30 seconds, no more. And if you forget, that is your own fault. I hope that this is a way to protect your own health for your family, yourself. So you try your best to remember it, so you can protect your own health, your own family, and those in your family. Now let me share with you on the first day, on the second day. Any people you love or you hate, there's no problem. If they block your path of evolution, listen carefully. Whether you love or you hate, it is still the same. You merge to the object or to that person. If they do right, if they do the positive way with their mission, then they continue on their journey. If not, they do not follow their mission, then they would resign. If they are not following according to their mission, then they may leave you. You don't have to leave them. They themselves, they will leave you if they do not follow their own mission. So this time, you do not feel discouraged or sad, because for the sake of the world, not for the interest of the family or yourself. So more or less, do not ask why. How come you learn level 20? I teach you like this, and I have warned you already. Because through your question, as you ask, anyone who try to block your progress, you continue to merge to them and help them. If they have the ability, they continue to block you. If not, then they would leave you in many ways. I do not want to tell you in what way. They themselves, they will leave you. You do not leave them. You continue to love them and help them, but they themselves, they leave you because they don't have the ability to receive your love. That's all I can say to you, whether you can understand or not. I cannot say it more plainly like this. Even if you tell me, I would not be able to review even more than this. For the Vietnamese, you could not understand more, but I know that you are very clever. I know that you understand. When I talk about, no, now I don't want to say it. The Vietnamese, first of all, from the West, and they know they're very clever. Before I say it, they know my intention. So, through your question as you ask, so I can answer for you. The purpose is to help you to have the wisdom. The wisdom, so you have full understanding of everything. So depending on this situation, you are able to contribute. Do not show hatred, but you only show love to help. And that person, whether they deserve your love or not, or they receive your love or not, or they receive your help or not, it is up to them, not yours. So don't worry about that. Your mission, my mission, all of our mission is to love, to help. Those that can benefit from your help or your love, do not worry. That is their own business, because you cannot worry about that. So this time we have the unknown soldier who take care of that, and you are the unknown soldier. Perhaps I will say that more on the last day. If I say too much, you feel so happy you are not able to learn. As I know in the past 30 years ago, that the deity tell me, when I know I want everything, and then I forget the lesson because I was so happy with all everything that I received. So I'll reveal to you on the last day before the end, and I'll open review everything, and it will be the end of the class, so you can grasp. Now if I reveal, then you'll be so glad you are not able to focus to learn. That is my mentality about 34 years ago. When I learned with that same mentality, the deities revealed to me, so I know ahead. I was so glad I was not able to focus. He keep on showing me one way, and I keep on thinking, if I have this and have that. But as they reveal to me the present, I do not. I keep on thinking of the future. So these are the lessons I want to share with you with my experience. So you have the opportunity to learn and you can progress. So now, 3 persons in Thailand, you can ask now. In Thailand.
Good. Dear Master, I have 2 questions. You told us that material world is illusory world, that during the times of Atlantis, people were different, they were transparent. Does it mean, dear Master, that when people were co-creators with God, they were together with Him, but when they fell down, they created a false world, and that now to change that wrong world, we need transformation, and those changes that would take place are only tragedy only for those who are seeing the world wrong way. It is possible that for the universe we are like a tumor, like a cancer tumor in the organism, and any healthy organism doesn't want to have a tumor in it. It tries to push away tumor, get rid of the tumor. That is my first question. Second question, you told us that your soul came from far away. Does that mean, dear Master, that your soul came from the truth, whilst we are in that circle of samsara, in the circle of illusion? Thank you very much, dear Master.
Now, as you ask about the time of Atlantis, I want to share with you from the archaeology and research in the human world. Through millions of years from the time of human existence, there are so many civilizations. The first, the second, the fourth civilization. Perhaps the fourth one are from Atlantis. They have the highest ability to advance. But these 4 civilizations, they have the same power. With power struggle that caused problem in the human world. God understood this point. So God invited all of this to return back to the deities. To clear for the past hundreds of thousands of years, the human do not have that wisdom anymore. The human use very small percentage of the brain. According to scientists, researchers around the world, the humans right now, we can only use 6% of our brain. 94% is unused. We can only use 3 dimensions in the world, not others. Additionally, in the lower brain, we have the secondary brain, that is the reptilian and the mammal. the scientists had researched for the past 4 decades. They only knew about that in the recent 4 decades. However, I learned in both aspects. The first, I learned from the deities. I do not know about the material or science. But when I taught the levels, as you have learned through with science, but then later on, perhaps in the books in medical science, they discuss about the subject later on. Perhaps it is from my students who share this knowledge, and then they know I do not base on the claim of the scientists to give the lecture. I do not base on the claim from the medical doctors to teach you, because it is not the same, because whatever I teach you, it is totally new. I do not copy the information from others. After I teach you, then the documents they send elsewhere, I do not know whether it is intentionally or it is coincidence, but from the past until now, through all the books, after I teach, perhaps 1 or 2 years later, the lecture that I share, they also publish in the book either 80 or 90% similar. So these are the lecture I had presented 2 or 3 years ago. That is one of the strange signs that I have seen. For the past few days, I have mentioned to you the 4 civilizations that had appeared. The first on earth, they have a lot of ability, but due to power struggle, they have problems. So this time, you and me, all of us, we have our soul. The soul from these 4 civilizations, the first civilization, they're not going anywhere because of their power struggle. Therefore, in January 2007, before the end of the level 19, as I was teaching in the city, I have mentioned to all of the students all over the world, for the last time, as the soul who come to me, a soul had never been on earth, unknown soul who have full understanding in order to help the deadlock in the 3-dimensional world, in the planet Earth as we live right here, that all of the soul from all of the 4 first civilizations who are here, they could not do anything. As I come here, I help and I contribute so that the souls of those who are still around on earth, so they have the chance to develop according to them, which is to help the humans to have peace and prosperity, to have paradise on earth, to lead a life of happiness. The humans can truly love humans. That is how I share with you. I only contribute, and then whatever the mission they carry out, just like in the previous seminars, after you reach a level, high level, first of all, you do not need to thank Master Đáng. Secondly, you thank the deities in your religion, or you thank the religious founder in your religion. You thank your religion, and you thank your country and your people, but do not thank Master Đáng. The mission of Master Đáng is to teach you. The mission of Master Đáng is to contribute in every situation, and then Master Đáng will leave. It is so difficult for you to see Master Đáng. It doesn't mean that Master Đáng, I help you with the millions of students, and you are my disciple, and you have to follow me or everywhere, and I introduce you as my disciple. No. There's a number of my friends that are non-EV. When you follow me, I do not say that you are my student. I just say that you are my friend. There's no point in telling them that you are my student. To this stranger, I do not need to say that. I just say to them, you are my colleagues or my friend. That is my principle. So when you talk about the people in Atlantis, we are fortunate that after 4 civilizations, these 4 civilizations, they did not learn the lesson that you are learning now in the level 20, the level 16, from the level 16 and now 5 levels. The souls of these people, the 4 civilizations in the past, they did not learn this lesson because the deity did not teach them. How can they learn? Therefore, whatever I teach you is not in any books. You can search for any books, you cannot find, because there's nobody who can teach you like this. Nobody have the ability who can train a normal person like you, that you can practice. You close your eye, in 5 minutes later, your body can transform into energy, very light. You travel out to space easily. You have been and you continue to achieve this. It doesn't mean that I'm just saying it. In the past several years, for the first time when I taught you level 16, you still remember, I taught you for 10 days. For the first 3 days, I let you practice during the class. During the time of the seminar, you practice. At night, you see the result immediately. only after 3 days, before the end of the seminar. And as I allow you to practice, in 3 days you apply and you've seen the result. That is through your knowledge. And this result, it is not just ordinary people. The deities are very clever to choose those who are capable, the scholars, the scientists, the medical doctors. So they practice, they've seen the result. Then whatever they claim, you can believe them. Now, they are not the Vietnamese either. They believe more. If this is a Vietnamese and you say that you have this diploma, that diploma, the master is Vietnamese and you are Vietnamese, perhaps we are just making up together. My student, nobody, I know nobody, even though we are from the same country, but they are strangers. Once a while I'll see once I see you for the first time, I meet you in the class. So that's how I share with you. During this time in the 21st century, we are very fortunate. We learn the ability that in the human world, the first 4 civilizations, they did not learn. Why do we learn? So that we can protect. The most important part I want to share with all of you, never think that we have the power. If you have the power in the future, and that is the power of love, to share for love, then you can last. The power to divide, to keep in one continent, then you destroy yourself. These are the 4 first civilizations. They violated that. This time I do not want to make the same mistake of the past. I do not want to have the power struggle. I just want to help the humans, to love the humans. The humans need our help. The soul needs us. So they can evolve, that we have. And for others, we don't pay attention to. I don't want to think about any other issues. That is about the problem of power struggle. That is the material world. I do not want to pay attention to the material world, the power struggle. Now, as you know, if I say the first, second, third, and fourth civilization, these people, they would not come to learn. This soul have been here the first time, that they are very highly advanced already. The second time they came here, and the third time, the fourth time, the 4 first civilization on Earth, they appear on Earth for millions of years in the past already. They were very highly advanced. The deities invited them back. They are very highly advanced. But it is not, they do not follow the mission that God had given. That's why God invited them back. So now I come here. I do not step on any toes. So I'm the origin. I've never been on here. Only in that way, my soul can convince this soul so that they can come. I can help them so they can complete the mission to help the humankind to truly have peace. If I tell them I'm from the first, then I will be the same. In the past, they are the same with me. They know. So in a way, whatever I do, because of the power struggle, so we will be competing. So for me, I do not dare to have that greed. So it will be the same, just like the first, the second, or the third, or the fourth civilization. Then we cannot help the humankind to have wisdom or enlightenment. I do not dare to say that I'm the light or the dark, but I only know that my soul had never been on this earth. And I can combine with all the souls who have been on earth for millions of years. So we can contribute to help the humankind, to bring the light of joy to the humankind, to bring love, peace, less suffering to the humankind. This is how I help. That is the body, your soul, you can evolve higher. That is the mission of my soul. That the deity who sent me down here in the body of an Asian with the name Lảo UNG MINH ĐÁNG sitting in front of you here. Now, next question.
Dear Master, dear Dr. Teresa, I am grateful to God for being here, along with my other UE brothers and sisters. 1, 2, 1, 2. Can you hear me?
Yes, I still hear you.
All right. I repeat, probably, I think people, they did not hear it here. You got it? All right. Dear Master, dear Dr. Teresa, I am grateful to God for allowing me to be here, along with my other UE brothers and sisters. I would like to thank all the people who have helped us to organize these seminars here, and also all the translators. I thank on behalf of all Iranians and all students here. Two questions this student has, Master. The first one, so far our soul has been traveling to space in many times. Is this the time that we can prepare ourselves so that we can experience the traveling of body and soul together, or is not the time yet, or is it being able to be anywhere at any time in order to help mankind? So he's asking whether it is a time for the soul to travel together with the body and experience this traveling through the body. The second, in regards to increasing the water amount of the well, Master, how can we recognize and find the underground water sources so that we can fulfill our mission? Thank you very much. I kiss your hands. Hope to see you in person. My name, Neemat Rahimi. Thank you, Master.
Thanks.
Now let me explain for you. Anywhere when they have a disaster, you merge to that area. In a way, your soul will be there. If you wish to come there, it's so easy. You practice. You close your eyes, you pray, then your body and your soul will come there. Perhaps half an hour or several hours. At that time, you are completely unconscious. You totally lose all the sensation of your body. If you wish, you can. You practice starting from now. After the class, for sure, you will have many opportunity and the time so you can do this. If you wish, I do not force you to do it. Anywhere. The moment you practice, you close your eyes, suddenly you lose all sensation. Your body and your soul travel. At that time, I tell you the truth. Even the television or the phone ring, you would not know. This is the really you go and work. Then as you come there, perhaps you may see the people, but they do not see you. So you can practice now. In the past, you now as you are learning, you merge with my soul, and you will be able to travel there. You look and you will see the situation. In the past, it was indirectly, but now you can do it directly. After the 29th of July, and in the future, any situation of disaster, you merge first, and then your body and your soul will follow there. The time, perhaps the number of minutes or hours, that is up to your soul, and the deity allowed you. I had already mentioned to you, in the level 20, that is a very highly capable soul that comes to help your body with the capacity in order to help mankind. With your wish, it is not so difficult, but the part is, do you want to practice or not? You want everything. I show you, and I show you, you need to work. If you want to eat the fruit, then you have to climb up the tree to find the fruit. And the fruit tree, it is 3.8 meters. If you are afraid of climbing, then you have to use a ladder to climb up to find the fruit. So you listen carefully. I don't know if who can translate this. The fruit, I just say fruit, that will be easy. Sometimes I just use some other words that he cannot translate. There's no word to describe the fruit, because this is the fruit that only in Vietnam that we have. So I'll explain for you. So this student, you can rest assured. Now, for the case of underground water source, if you want to, in the past, in level 19, you are here, you can pray to the deep being north, south, east, west to bring the water source to your region. Now, if you wish your well to have water, you come to that place with the well, you merge, then you pray to the being from north, south, east, west, and then you stand right there. Then you merge to the well. They would drive the water source to your well and bring water to you. I tell you the truth. In Australia, first Teresa and many people were afraid that we don't have enough water with the drought. I tell you the truth. For a severe problem, I do not try to do it. So Teresa, after taking a shower, she tells the children to carry the water. I do not try to do this. I can carry only the clothing, but to carry the bucket of water, 10, 20 liters is so heavy. I do not try to do this. The children, they do it. I do not vacuum. I do not want to. I do not know how to vacuum. So vacuum, people do it. I can wash the dishes. I'm the expert in washing dishes. I can do it very, very good. That is how I meditate. You can do it like me. For the man and woman here, for those men who are lazy, if you want to meditate, or folding the clothing, and after they dry the clothing, and you from the dryer, that you just fold the clothing. For washing the dishes, you have all the dishes, and you put in the soap, and then just wash the dishes, and you clean up. And so in that half an hour, nobody disturb you. You can meditate. I tell you the truth. And in the case of noise or disturbance, particularly in the case of vacuum, it is so noisy. The children want to do it. I do not want to take that job from them. Or carrying the bucket, water bucket, I do not want to take that from them. Teresa, she's very strong, even though she look frail, but she's very strong. She can carry the water bucket. When we go to the restaurant, people with all the people, they like to eat the bone. I do not like to eat the bones. But Teresa, she like to chew and eat on the bones. So I give her all the bones to eat. I tell you the truth. Whoever want to eat the bone, I give it to them because I'm afraid that it's stuck with my throat. So I'm afraid that the bone is stuck in my throat. People like to eat the bones. Whatever I think I can do, then I try to do it. I only try to take only the light task. As I'm teaching you, but I'm joking, so you're not falling asleep. Today it's a little warmer, so for the past day it is cold. So now in Thailand, you have third question now in Thailand.
Well, this is going to be a long translation, so I hope you be patient with me and
tell him to go slowly so you can.
Shall I go, or you want me? Do you want me to do it simultaneously, or you want me wait for him to finish?
If he can go slowly, you can follow slowly. We can try.
Okay. All right. Dear Master, dear Dr. Teresa, and all the students, greeting to you all. The question this student has is about he's representing the transfer of energy. He's giving one example about energy transfer and healing other people. People with the genetic problems from in many areas of the body. So he has many patients, and this is one of his examples that he wants to represent here. Master, during the past 10 years, I have treated many people using the UE techniques. After attending level 19, when I returned to Iran, I met a person who was suffering from nephrotic syndrome, which disables the kidneys. He had yellow skin and puffy face. When he came to me, he also could not walk. This problem, they said, it is genetic. So in his family, he has lost father and one sister from the same disease. The level of keratin in his level was 5.8 when he came to meet me. And I start transferring energy to this person for 6 months. And they told him that this disease that he has is genetic, so he could have died. He could die within months. So 4 weeks later, I transferred energy by hand. And he went to the test, so the level of keratin in his blood reduced to 4.6. After 8 weeks, he was so happy, and I continued. 2 months later, the blood test he ran, the level of keratin reduced to 3.8. I have all the documents and all the test results here with me, Master. I have many cases like this, but I believe one should be enough and represents all in my cases. So I believe we can heal disabled kidneys and genetic diseases as well. Even after I stopped transferring energy to this person, the keratin level remained low. Why is it that my treatment works better, Master, when I visit these patients rather than from distance? Please help me on this. The next one. Please, when you are giving us the new level 20 techniques, could you please slow down so that the translators can translate so that we can take good notes, Master? Because we have many problems in our notes. My name is Hossein from Iran, and I would like to see if I understood this correctly. If I want to be one with you, does that mean that the light comes from the heaven to your chakra 7 and comes from your chakra 6 out, and I would receive it by my chakra 6? Is this correct? Did I understood you well, Master? Thank you.
Now, through your question, let me answer for you. In the principle for all of the patients, they like you to place your hand on them. That is to increase their mentality. Sometimes far away from a distance, they may not be aware of it. Or some lower students, they do not know how, in terms of the technique of transfer energy from a distance. Only when they come to learn the level 5.1, then they understand how come you can do a remote healing successfully. From then on, then these students, slowly as they learn and they know the effect, and they can follow on to the higher level, they understand the effect of the energy transfer from a distance. So that is how I explain for you. That is only the psychological effect for these people who want you to place in person. But if you apply correctly, whether you do it directly or from a distance, it is still the same. But in higher levels, it is different. In higher level, you are able to control the soul of the cells to help them so they listen to you. They are able to help to maintain the health of the sick person. That is how I explain for you clearly in the case of the energy transfer for treatment. Now today, as you ask, I want to share with you, as today is the 3rd day of the level 20, from the time when I complete the level 19 in January 2007 in Australia. At the time before the end of the class, on that time there is a change of my soul, that strange soul who never been on this earth, that come permanently with me through the past 17 years. There are so many souls that come to me, including many of the soul guardian that help protecting my body. As you know, my soul in the previous years, many previous years, as I was teaching you, my body had to endure sacrifice, spiritually, materially, in every aspect. I have a lot of sacrifice in order to contribute to help the higher soul. And many of these higher souls, they do not want to follow the path. They cause problem in many aspects that nobody would know. But that was in the past. All of the black magic, all of these unknown soldiers, they do not accept me. They do not accept us. Me as I was teaching in all 5 continents, my students in every country, all over the world, in each country, each continent, there are many higher souls who want to protect these regions. They do not want anyone to interfere. That this morning I had mentioned to you, these are the power struggle. I come to England, then they have a spiritual warfare. In England, I go to Europe or Asia, they have a spiritual warfare in this region. This is a struggle between these souls who want to protect their own region, their own land. Because of their power struggle, they do not want anyone to interfere with them. So I accept. I said that I just only come here to help. I do not want to harm anyone. You know, when I come to Asia, there is a spiritual battle that this soul almost defeated me. So I said that it is my fate. I accept to die there in Asia, because my soul volunteered to come down here to help all the souls to evolve. But if I come here, and if they defeated me, then I'll accept to die. The moment I accept to die, then this soul would leave. I return back to my original state. So these 4 very important issues in Asia, 3 cases, and in Europe 1, and in Asia there are 6 cases that happened to me through my 34 years of learning. There were 4 major struggle to see if I feel hatred or I feel discouraged, or do I retaliate or not, or do I want to hold the power or not. I tell you that I did. I have 5 years ago. I want to have the power. I tell you the truth. To have the power so that I can control all of them. Meaning, to have the power so that all of them, they are listening to me, so that I can teach, spread the teaching. It's not to be a king, to do a politics. No. I want to have a power so I can help people, but then I could not succeed. It is not that to have the power, then we can do it. These are the conditions the deity did not reveal to me. Only when I taught you the level 19 in January 2007, the new soul came to me. From now, permanently, it never changed. This new soul who explained to me why and why and why. All of these whys that now today, through the question that you ask, my soul would never appear. But no, the soul from the first civilization, they are very highly advanced. This first 3 civilizations, they also have problem for power. They kept the power for one region, and they want to conquer others. And that is a mistake of the humankind in the past. With the power, we don't have love. Any type of power struggle, then through all the journeys, after the 25 centuries until now, the last time Buddha, Christ, Mohammed, many of the religious founders who were here in the 25 centuries until now, they have proven that with powers they are killed. And then continue on in all 5 continents. Many people, they want power. Power to protect themselves, to protect ourselves. And for sure, to protect ourselves, then we have to harm others. For the past 25 centuries, we do not have the spiritual warfare, but we have the physical war due to the power struggle. That the deities did not teach us to have power struggle. The powers that they had millions of years ago, these souls are invited to return back to the deities. So now I come to live in the 20th century to prepare for the 21st century. In the past, I tell you the truth, my soul is still low. Just I tell you the truth. For that reason, I want to have power. My purpose, the power to be able to spread the teaching so people would not have any problems, so I can teach smoothly, but I could not. Until the year 2007, I know about the power of struggle, whether I can teach smoothly or with opposition. So now we are able to apply smoothly in order to help many people without causing hatred or grudges. That is, we are the unknown soldier to contribute, to help, so that the humankind will have wisdom and enlightenment. my explanation on this point, you listen carefully. And in the next few days, you continue to learn to have more wisdom and enlightenment in order to help others to have the same level of wisdom and enlightenment like us. That is 1,541 of you. You have tried to apply this point that I had presented to you in this level 20. Now in Australia, you have 3 questions from Africa.
The other students from South Africa and I thank you for the opportunity to learn. My first question is related to the application of level 20 technique. In the basic level, there is a technique to transfer energy to people who have malaria. Malaria is a parasite. However, in the higher levels, you have told us not to transfer energy to people who have parasites. Many people in Africa are inflicted with parasites, even those who have AIDS. It is very difficult to know who has and who does not have parasites. Is there a technique at this level to get rid of these parasites? The second question is on page 5 of the techniques that you've given us. The rice porridge, which is added to the water and the sugar and the salt. What does Master mean when you say cook the rice porridge and make it like a powder? Thank you, Master.
Now, through your question from this student who is also a doctor in South Africa, I explained clearly for you. You transfer energy collectively in the case of the bacteria or the parasite, let's say, inside your liver. When you treat, they will die. The parasite that inside the stomach, you need to use medication. No matter how you treat, you will not be able to. If you transfer energy, they would be stronger and they will grow more. So you need to listen carefully, because this is the parasite inside the stomach. They are very powerful. You need to use some medication to get rid of there are 2 types of the parasite. The one inside the liver, you are able to help with the energy transfer. The one in the stomach, then you need to use medication to get rid of them. I explained for you clearly in the case how you can apply the treatment. I understand for many of you in Africa, it is a lot of them to treat individually. It may take a long time. So as they come to the center with the AIDS patient, you don't need the list. You just come to that AIDS clinic. You can do a collective healing one time. And if you are from far away, at least as you go to that area, you know exactly the location of the clinic with all the AIDS patients there. All you need is to visit there one time, so you know exactly where it is, and then you can transfer energy from a distance, just like in a collective list. Then you're able to help these people with the immune strength. They're able to recover. That is how I explained for you about the technique for healing. In the case that you are using the warm water for practicing to transform into energy to travel to space, the rice, as you cook, after a while it becomes just like the porridge. And then if you are afraid that at home, Teresa, she find a way to grind it, so just like the soup, To make it, you can use a grinder, or to make it just like a powder for the rice. I do not know if you can use a grinder or not. I do not know how you do it. You cook like a porridge, or you can keep it in a grinder. You can put it in a grinder, or put it in an electric grinder, and then after you stir it, and I tell you, 250 gram of rice plus 8 liter of water. You cook with high heat, so that the rice will, after all the rice just become just like the porridge. You take out the rice, and then you put into the grinder, and that is a good water. So anywhere, if you have the means, each time when you practice, you can cook. Each time when you do it, I myself, I'm also stingy over here due to the limited use of water. The government do not allow to use a lot of water. My God, I like to use a lot of water, but because of the restriction of water usage, but I want to keep the water for others to use. But I tell you, I'm willing to pay the fine for a lot of using water due to the limitation. Here, if we use a lot, then a lot of people, they do not have water. But the 60 people from Vietnam here, they use a lot of water. They come here, and then the master let you stay in the altar, and they stay in the altar, but they don't have water to take a bath, or cannot use the water. Now, let's say you go to the toilet without the water, you have a problem. When you go home, then they have a problem with the toilet. So you can just use the water. I still am willing to pay the fine. You can use the water as you come here to say in the altar. I keep on complaining about this. And this is the truth I'm sharing with you, because they allow you to use, but you have to pay the fine because of the restriction of the water usage. But for me, I do not use a lot, but I let others to save the water for others. But for me, I want to save the water for others to use. But for you, it is special only a short time. And then 7-8 months later, if they let us, we use 1,000 liters, I only use 100 to save the water, so that the Vietnamese come, and then the Vietnamese have the water. They suddenly see that this house only each month just use only 100 liters, and then in 1 month, in 1 month they use 3,000 liters of water. So I just share with you like a joke for those of you who are saying in the altar. So you can understand, if you have the means, then each day you can practice 2 times a day. If you have the free time in the morning and at night, then you can throw away the water. Then tomorrow you can cook, and then you can practice again in the morning and in the afternoon. But if you have, you can cook and you can practice. Each time when you practice, you cook and you practice. So that's how I share with you. In the cold climate, I tell you, in Australia, right here, with the water, I go to Europe. I mentioned about Europe. I have a student about 15 years ago or 17 years ago. I came to Europe. I do not want to say any country. My student is also a doctor. They said they have a room that I can say, and my room, and right next to the toilet, and there's only one toilet. I see that the husband and the wife and the children, but they do not flush. And each time I go and I flush, and on that day when I was eating, and I asked them, how come? Tell me the truth. How come you don't? How come you're so lazy? He said, no, I'm a doctor. I'm not lazy. I said, you're not, because the husband, the wife, and the children, I know, because my room is like next to the toilet. I know that you're going to the toilet, but I don't see that you're flushing. I don't hear you flushing. He said that in flushing, he wastes the water. He said that the water over here, the bill of water is very expensive, so that's why they don't want to flush. So now, as I was laughing at them, now I'm in Australia. I have to be the same. They allowed me to use a limited amount, but 18 years ago I was laughing at others. But now I'm looking myself. I do not dare to flush the water because of the water restriction. So it is not that I'm afraid of wasting the water, but other people who need the water. So I go to the toilet from the morning and to night, except to go to the toilet, but the urine that I do not flush. Sometimes I drink the wine, or when I go to urine, it might smell better when I drink wine. So now I have a problem with this. So I have, wherever I live, we have so we have to adapt to where we live. So for that reason, through the question from this student from Africa, if you have the ability, if you have abundant source of water, then each day the maximum you can practice in the morning, at night. Then the next day you can cook the new ingredients, or if you don't practice 2 times, and you can practice, let's say in the evening. And then after you take a shower, you want to clean yourself. And then after you clean yourself, then you can sit in submerged in the container and for 5-10 minutes, then you feel better. In the morning, if you have the free time, you can try to practice. And after you practice, you go to work, and you feel very healthy. That is how I share with you, depending on each situation, each region that you can apply. Importantly, about the case of water, and you have to spend the time to cook with the ingredient of the rice, so they turn into porridge. That you mix it with salt and sugar, and you are able to submerge in order to practice, so your body can transform into energy to travel out to space. Now, Margaret.
Thank you, Master. Thank you, Teresa. I'd like to say hello to everybody from the UK. There's a small group of us here in Australia and also in Holland. I'm not sure about Thailand. The question. First of all, I wanted to make an observation that the things that we are taught by Master Dang, I have noticed very quickly in the paper, we tend to get things about the same thing. For example, about the electricity being made, generated and not having to go through the wires. And there was something recently in the paper in the UK about this, that the scientists are getting very interested in this. And also, I'm just looking at my notes. They seem to be finding a way of being able to create new limbs and organs to regenerate them, which is the same thing as we've been doing. There's something else as well. About the very difficult new viruses that are coming, and they've discovered that garlic is very helpful for treating these conditions. That was a radio program recently as well. So I was very pleased when I heard these things, because it seemed very quick that the scientists are beginning to look into these things themselves. I wondered if there's a technique that we can still send energy to the whole Earth, if possible. Also, I'm looking forward to receiving an antenna in the UK when the big antennas are ready. We would love to have one in the UK. Since 2005, I've been having a lot of very negative experiences, or at least the higher beings have been sending me things that have seemed negative to me. And I've been rather negative, and I feel as if I've had a very big struggle, and I don't feel I've understood properly the lessons that I need to learn, and I'm hoping my soul can learn these lessons before it goes on to the new body. I feel I would like to understand why these things have been happening. A lot of dishonesty in my life, which I don't think I would have expected to come up across. And I've been very distracted by this. So also I would ask Master Dang if I could help so I'm not distracted. Perhaps when the new soul comes, then I won't be distracted. Sorry. The other thing I was wondering is if we can choose where our soul goes. I would like to choose my granddaughter, but she's just 2 years old. So would that mean then that the soul can't do any spiritual work for a long time? It seems a bit of a waste. So I was wondering if it would be better if the soul goes into an adult. And the other question I had was about a chapel in Scotland where for many years the very ancient secrets from the ancient Egyptians, the spiritual secrets from Sumer, from the major religions of the Far East, which is the Jewish religion, the Muslim religion, Islam, and also Christianity. And these secrets have been passed down through the ages, but unfortunately, I think they've lost the practical content. And I wonder, for people who are still very interested to learn these spiritual secrets, would it be possible, because it seems to me the work we're doing is the things they're trying to find out about. So I wonder whether it might be possible for those who are very interested in the spiritual side to be able to discover these spiritual secrets. Thank you.
Now, slowly through the question from the person from England, also she's head of a center in England who come here to learn. I want to share to this student as well as many of you, the scientists around the world. From my understanding and my knowledge, these scientists who research, they achieve, most of them are from Russia, not in England or in America. Listen carefully. Meaning the research in the field of spirituality. In order to contribute to help in the field of science, the Russians are the first who succeed, not the Americans, even though I live in America. But I'm very practical. I want to share with you on that perspective. In the research in the field of spiritual and science, many countries in the world are conducting. But as I research through, I know no country is equal to the Soviet Union. I want to share with you on that aspect. So in the case of electricity, to generate electricity or the remedy, as I had mentioned to you recently, I do not copy the lesson that I give to you. This is the lesson from the deities who revealed to me, because I do not know this. When I have, then I experiment. I experiment with the UV water, the antenna, so that my student can experiment. Then I can apply with our application, and I continue to receive the messages to continue. I will not know what the result. We just keep on doing it, because if everything that happened and we don't have this object in order to act, to apply, then it would be a waste. It would be too late. So it is best to go ahead of them. Just like, as you know, electricity, they use the polarity, plus and minus, but for us we only use the plus. All of its condition, it is in the human research in the three-dimensional world. Listen carefully. But when we apply from other dimension in outer space, we do not need any. We have this energy that we are using. We do not cause the pollution into environment. It doesn't cause harm to the humans. It doesn't cause damage when we use electricity. I have prepared everything for you. I do not want to say we have to wait for a long time. I do not want to say a short time. But listen carefully. In the decade of the 21st century, there will be many changes all over the world. For that reason, I have prepared everything. Now you can see the UV garlic water. People would look low at this, but in the research with the British scientists, they know the effect of garlic that can cure in the case of flu or cold, but without our energy transfer. As yesterday, there's one doctor who asked that with the water the transfer energy, people may look and they do not dare to drink, but she drink, but she can see the strange effect in the body. And this is a doctor, not a normal person. So you can see the effect. When we have this energy, everything will be changed, going through the transformation in the environment, including the DNA in your body from a medical perspective. The man, the relationship between the father and the son, when they check the DNA, they will be similar, but now it will be different. That is how I want for you ahead of time. So you know, do not ask why, how come you see the change in the environment. That you see, do not doubt, because when you go to level 19, level 20, the environment changed. So for me, in the case of genetic disease or handicaps, or in the problem with heredity, that is the scientists, whatever the research, I don't have any comments. But from me, we try to neutralize everything. We are able to solve everything. We can change the nervous system, we can change the cell in the body, we can change the living organism. If we know how to use universal energy, we can solve and change. We have been, and you continue to do it. You know this technique. This is the highest technique when you graduate the level 20. And eventually, with everything I teach you for the past 2 days and today, now you do it less during the time of 6 days in the class. But when you go back to your country, your homeland, perhaps you can do 10 times, 100 and 1,000 times more. Listen carefully, not just once. Now just try your best to learn. Try your best to do it. With everything that is not clear for you, you ask and I'll answer for you. So you will have the opportunity to contribute to help in many aspects that you need to help. That is the difficulties that we have to help. That's how I share with you. You listen and you try to learn, try to do it correctly so that you can apply to help other people. So now, too much for the whole earth. That for you, if you, I have done so for the past 2 months already. However, I advise for you, you take care of too much to your country, your region, your town. This is most important. But if within your ability, you apply within your capacity, and you have the ability, you do it within your limit for the whole country, perhaps you are not able to help the whole country, but depending on fate and destiny, you are able to help this region more or less. With their destiny, you are able to save them. I cannot say that we can save the whole earth, even though I have the ability to teach, to help you, but I never say that I have the ability to help the entire earth. However, in the case of merging to earth, all the living creatures on earth, I have the ability to merge. Whether they can benefit more or less, it is up to each continent, each country. I don't have the capacity to do this. Now, if I say, if I can, if they sunk in the ocean, how can I bring them up? That's for example. So I'm ready to help all. Wherever they still around and lost, that is up to the fate of the humans, these people. However, during the disasters or the storm recently, we have less damage. I'm talking about casualty. There are, but they're very little. I can see a lot of people are dying from sickness. I do not see a lot of people who die from natural disaster, including in Thailand or in America. I see less cases of the EW student who died. If there are more or less, as the student who reported to me, but I do not see many. That is one of the good signs that the deities help to protect our bodies, so we have the opportunity to help mankind. In the case, I do not want to say that we can live very long, but when you go to the level 20, more or less, your mission, the mission of your body, as God has chosen you, in your own profession as you work, and God will repay you. These are the means for you and all others to learn, to progress. It doesn't mean that you learn to a higher level and lower level and I tell you to give up your job. You continue on with it, whether you succeed or not. When you are successful, suddenly your soul will change your body and you can do this and do that. And that is very special. That normal people, they mention that you have brilliant ideas. Now you constantly have the source of brilliant ideas constantly come to you, so you don't have to worry. That is how I explain. For the past few days, I mentioned now your road will be smooth. The deity will help you on a smooth road. That is how I explain for you, so you listen carefully. you can continue. Not just Margaret in England during this time. Any of you who request, you can send the letter to me so I can record them, or you write down the email so that I would make a decision. I'll let you have an email later on. I tell you, I do not know about the email address, so perhaps my friends or my students will have to send email to me. I tell my friends, and they laugh at me. They said, how come others know about email, but I say, how come I don't? I say, it is so complicated. It's better not to know. I do not know whatever they do, but when I know, it is difficult. Because when I know the email, when I learn one, I know 10, then many people who have problem with me, so it is better. You can want to learn about email or any. It is best for me to just learn to sleep. It is best. You can learn about anything. It is so complicated about it. I do not like to learn about this complicated. And once I come in, then they are not equal to me. So I do not want to learn. I learn too much. So I just leave that to other people. Now, regarding the trial and difficulties that you face, as I explained to you for the past few days, when your soul merges to your body, these are the higher souls. As you learn the lessons, to learn the good lesson is you learn fast, but the tough lesson, the bad lesson, it is very difficult. But let's say your endurance, your strength, and you can endure 10. But for me, the DT only tests me up to 8, or even better, you have a better 8 or 9. If you are falling, the DT will lend a hand to save you. That is the case of my self, your master. After 34 years of learning, there are so many cases. After my 18 years of teaching, the moment I almost fall, then the moment I'm about to fall, then the DT saved me, bring me ashore. There were so many times I want to give up. Not this is the first time. There were so many times I gave up, but the DTs let me pass through the question, as Margaret had gone through all the trial, as was many of you. If you know that your soul going through a change to help the body, to have wisdom, this is not a reason. Listen carefully. The material in the human world, they have the reason. There's no reason. And only in the split of second, and this reason would come and then erase. This is the lesson you learn. Now in the level 20, you listen carefully. All in the human world, from the past until now, when something happens, there is a reason for it to happen. And then you see the event, right, wrong, good, bad, they have a reason. But for us, from the level 20, the reason only in 30 seconds, and smoothly go through only in 1 minute. Listen carefully. You see the reason have to be like this and that, but after 30 seconds, everything is calm and everything is smooth, with the condition that all of this opposition that I taught you on the first day, you don't have to pray. Just think of the Soul Master Dang to merge with you. Just think in a split of second, only 5 seconds at most. Then everything will be smooth for you. At that time, your soul, it is not the Soul Master Dang who help you. When my soul merges with your soul will guide you so that everything will be smooth. So whatever in the past, before you come to the level 20, in the past, you forget all these events. That is a reason from the human world, in the material world, that causes. However, when you come to level 20, it is not that I tell you to leave all the material, but you still use the material as the means for you to progress. You use the material to bring the means for others to learn, to progress. You do not give it up. This is wrong. You use it. You use it in a smoother way for others who want to cause a problem or block you or oppose you. When you try to do on the smooth road to help others, now you don't have to worry. Do you believe in the Soul Master Dang? Do you believe in the soul of the unknown soldiers? They are very close to you. They will leave you in any circumstance. You always show love and help. But the more love, whether they can receive your love more or less, that is important. So, I tell you the truth. Even if you want to be selfish, you cannot. You cannot be selfish. So you try your best to try to apply love. You merge. When you hate, you still love or merge. When you love and you hate and you still merge to that person, whether that person receive more or less, or do not receive, or stay with you or not stay with you, that is up to these people. You leave that to the soul of the unknown soldier with their ability to do it. And the unknown soldier this time, they are the instrument of God. That in the past, a number of you who do not understand when I use the terminology about the guardians, they are close to God. They are the right and left hand of God. In Vietnamese, when we talk about the guardian, we think of the angel or the saint that you come to pray to this. That's not these saints and angels. These are the unknown soldiers who are close to God, that God had given to them. That in Vietnamese we mentioned about that when you die, then the Lord of Thunder will hit you with a hammer to strike you down. In Vietnamese, whenever I see that person, who you curse at the person, I think it is the Lord of Thunder, but in fact it's the higher soul who receive the message from the deities who carry out. These are the ones who are close to you. Perhaps they are in your body already. So you cannot be selfish. You cannot cover. Just like I had explained to you already. So if you love someone, you need to show that true love, not fake love. Especially for the man and the woman. If you see that you can love, then that is the love with your physical body. You say that you love that lady, and then at night you merge with that person, or you can try to enter her stomach. She will throw you out. Listen carefully. I'm just joking, but I tell you. So you have to be careful on this. I just want to share with you. With all of the suffering, it is not equal to the trial that Master Dang had gone through. In Vietnamese, it is I'm suffering 100 times of pain and bitter. Only the people who are jealous, they like to have bitter, but I do not like things of bitter. But I have to taste 100 of the bitter and 1,000 of bitter. So many of the ladies, they are very jealous. I tell you the truth. Your trial is not equal to the trial of Master Dang, but the deities are very clever. When we are feeling very negative, discouraged, then the hand of God will land in to help you. Only in that way you will see the clever design of the deities. Only in that way you can see that the deity has chosen your body to serve people. So don't worry. Now you don't have any more worries. Even if you want to worry, you cannot. Listen carefully, because the books had written. We return to the deities. We return with God as the. Now we are becoming the deities, and the deities now is you. That is the books, tradition, culture, family, society. These are only the theory. But in the level 20, now you are applying it. Now I tell you, you are becoming the first and the second civilization, not the third or the fourth, or the people after Atlantis. These are the first, second, third, and fourth civilization, depending on each situation that God has chosen your body. The soul from this civilization will come to you, at least the fourth civilization, with the advance. These are the masters in the past. The soul of these masters that were from Atlantis. These are the fourth or the previous one. So now I review this point for you. So through your journey, we did not have that wisdom enlightenment. So this soul from the first to the fourth civilization, when they merge into your body, as they make the new body, they converge from through four of civilization. We are the fifth, the last one, to combine with these four, not just for ourselves, but for all over the world. So from the 21st century into the future, we will have the civilization of people with wisdom and enlightenment, because these four civilizations now return back to all five continents. They are present on this earth. If you can understand that aspect, then you don't have any worry. Now, they clear these worries from your mind, because you have to take care of you don't have to worry about your career, your work, your job. You're worried that you don't have enough to pay your payment. You're afraid of being hunger, suffering. So now all these fear, worries, it's changed to you. You can have calm and peace. So you have calm and peace. And in a way, it is the road is smooth for you. So you don't have any opposition. After 19 souls that come to you and have tested you through all the opposition, including Master Đáng, so now your road is smooth. That 5 years ago, I also worry about the case of these oppositions. I also worried about the fact that I could not complete my mission. I also worried that for the first time, as I learned from the deities revealed to me when 1 hour ahead. After 1 hour, I will be tested 1 hour just right before my death. So I was being tested from the level 19 to the past when I was teaching. For that reason, the deities trained me from low to high. Once I reach to the high, then the higher soul come. Then there is no ties. Whether my body can do it, it is up to the soul. It is not that my body can do anything. So for you, you have to understand for me, in the previous months and years, before I taught the level 20 to the past, everything I make you feel happy or disagree or feel sad, it is not the body of Master Đáng that do it. The body of Master Đáng, it is still made up from the human flesh, the 5 elements with the jinn from the parents that make the body of Master Đáng, just like many other people. I know how to love, hate, feel angry, feel emotion, just like all of you. So you are the same with me. But when I train you in the level 20, everything changed totally. Now, my soul, combining with the higher soul in you, so that all of our souls, we are all combined together to carry out the program to have wisdom enlightenment. These are the 4 civilizations that we were on earth in the beginning. The 5th civilization, they did not have the wisdom enlightenment. Now we are on the road to combine with these beings. That is all of your souls and my soul from far away, combining with the soul from all 4 civilizations on earth to help to have wisdom enlightenment. Therefore, I have explained to you already, within my ability, millions and billions of Master Đáng will be on earth to help the humankind. There are no strangers, you at the present time, and your children and grandchildren in the future. That is how I explain. So that Margaret, after I present about my life, after I present through the class, as I share with all of you, through the trial, through the opposition, so that today, through the emotion, as Margaret has explained, hopefully with my answer, I can clear your sadness, not just for Margaret, but all of you, in all 3 locations, Holland, Thailand, and Australia. You can see through this lesson that Margaret has presented, and through my answer, I advise for you, all of you, you need to understand and love each other more. This is the best for all of the humans. And in that, it may be difficult for you to love those who oppose you, if you cannot, but then now you can merge to them, show love to them. Then whether they can have more or less, do not worry about it. You just know how to love and merge to them, individually, collectively, in region A, region B, country A, country B. When you have the free time, you do it. In the past, when you were in the level 19, when you have free time, you receive a light of God and send 3 seconds everywhere. But now, we have gone through that phase. Now, the soul of the 1st and the 4th civilization, they do not need this. As the deity allowed us, you can act. So you don't have to waste the time, because you are able to help more. For that reason, you do not need to pray more. We do not use the light of God's aura more, because they've been on earth. Who are they? The deities, who are they? The deities are a soul from the 4 civilizations in the past. the best being in the world. In fact, if these beings from the first to the fourth civilization, they have all the ability, the top ability, that we have to refer to them as the highest being, not God, but the highest being. They have the top ability. They can do many things. So now as we learn, but our road is different. We learn more so that we can truly show love, truly help people. And we do not cause power to us, have a power struggle. That is all I can share with you on that part. Now advice for you, I share with you. Do you know how long you live? Whether do you know how long your granddaughter will live? When I teach you in level 20, I tell you, starting from now to the past, birth, old age, sickness, death, we are tied to it. But now to the future, it is changed. Only now in the 21st century, if there is a change that is beyond the imagination that in the world that never exists, then you don't have to calculate your lifespan. There is no time and space. You cannot calculate how long you live. These civilizations who were on Earth 2,000, 3,000 years, slowly, because of their power struggle, so it reduced down to 300, 600 years and down to less than 100 for power struggle. That's why we lose our ability, we lose our lifespans. How can we live up to 300, 600 years or several thousand years? We cannot. Now, you can travel anywhere with your body, travel out to space anytime. So now, not to mention, now I just experiment only 7 times. And each day when you experiment, in 1 month, who knows? In your body, what happened? Outside your body, what happened? With your ability, what happened? We do not know. So I let you practice, you will see the result. That is, I hope in the future, in Vietnam or here, or in any region, I would call you, from the level 20, more or less you would come. It is not that you come for a class that I teach, to come so that you meditate with me or some of the special formula I can update for you. It's not like teaching class like this. Hopefully on that day, we will have that day. Hopefully in the year 2008. It's not that I'm teaching, I confirm, I'm not teaching. I just want to update with everything that I learned. I just share with you. It's not teaching because the level 20 is the highest. So hopefully on that day, you and me will have a chance to see each other again. If we can see in Vietnam, it is better because when you go to Vietnam, you don't need anything. And it is much better for you because when I can go to my homeland, then for sure it is a joy and the joy for all of us. These are the results we can achieve to help the whole world. So that would be the question from Margaret. And also, I tell you the truth. Because in the human world, we are so selfish. Everything we keep on hiding as secret. The deity do not want to teach us secrets. The deities want to help us to have wisdom, enlightenment, to help people to progress. How can they keep secrets? I feel pity for these people who follow the spiritual path. In Australia, when I came from America, as you know, my God, some of the Vietnamese, I feel pity. I do not know how much they progress in the spiritual path. They go into the sacred Buddhism teaching. I feel pity for them because they have to wear a certain robe, and they said this is very secret. And she showed the picture. This is very secret. When I see the picture, I said that in America I see this picture. It is no secret. We can, in $1 you can buy it. Anywhere, any of the Tibetan temple in America, they sell this. And I asked, do they know this is a secret? Because when they look at the picture, they don't know what the picture is about. So that's why they call it a secret. because they do not know what it is, so that's why they call it a secret. The deities teach the secret so people can do it. They said, she said that it's a secret because she didn't know, so that's why it's a secret. My God, I see that's why it's blocked all the spiritual path. If when you see Master Dang, and the Master Dang will clarify for you. I tell you, from the past, when before I follow the spiritual path, I do not like this. Now I perhaps now as Teresa see that I'm changing. Teresa may feel better now since I'm much tolerant. So I explain for you. I tell you the truth. When you read a book, when you are in level 20, let's say the book in archaeology, then you know which part is real, which part is false. In archaeology, they only know 5%, and they make up many things that they make up. I tell you the truth. How do they know this piece of rock is 5,000 years? How do they measure? How do they know that this statue of Buddha are 10,000 years? The pyramid in the past, when I mentioned, they don't listen to me. 16 years ago, I said the pyramid, they use the Shaka 6 to move. They don't use any type of architecture design. They don't listen to me. They said the pyramid, I said the pyramid is 30, 50,000 years. 48 hours later, they changed the pyramid in Egypt. Already, I tell you the truth. And when I came to Egypt, I saw the text in Egypt in the past. They don't have a way to decipher. That's why they could not find the inner chamber. And this, and they just decipher. This is the letter A. This is the number 1, for example. If they can properly decipher, then the scientists they go in and they are locked, and then they disappear inside the inner chamber. They could not find them. They cannot research. So they can only say these are the guardian who kept the scientists who are missing. So that is one of the real incidents. These are the American scientists who came to Egypt for research, and 3 of them, only one who came back who asked for my help, and I denied to help. I tell you the truth. So in the human world, there's no secrets. If they do not know, that's why they say it is a secret. Because they do not know, so they say it is a secret. I tell you, for example, the first, second, and third and fourth civilization, from they meditate, and then they try to maintain the body. It is not that they want to go back to the body. When they go in there to meditate, or when they are in a mountain and they said that they meditate and they die, but they want to live. But suddenly in the mountain just collapsed and they die in there. It's not that they meditate, and they say this is a secret. I tell you, I know many things. But I see a pity for many of these people who do not learn, and they say this is a secret, but they do not know. They do not know, so how do they say this is a secret? Because they do not know, so that's why they say this is a secret. It's so simple. I teach you need to be practical. I teach you need to understand every aspect, so that with your full knowledge you are able to contribute. It is not that you try to be their master. You contribute to solve this deadlock. So I advise for you, let's say this and that. Now, Master Lảo Minh ĐÁNG, as a book had written in the past, how come I don't know how come I can say it. I traveled to Spain, in the south of Spain. I do not know. But when I came there, I focus and I pray and everything according to the books. In the 6th century, whatever happened. And at the 6th century, I do not know where I was in the 6th century. I was born in the 20th century. In the 6th century, I do not know where I was. I was so far away, I do not know where I was. How do I know? So on that, I just advise for you, if the deity teaches, the deity want us to understand the secret out in space and in earth. Why? To help the humankind to progress. There's no secrets. The secrets are fake because they do not know. That's why they say the secret. The secret meaning that you need to share more so the human, so that we have wisdom, enlightenment to help the human world to develop on the spiritual path. If you keep hiding the secret, because of this secret, that's why the Chinese master, they keep on hiding until now. It is totally lost. It is lost. So after they teach, and they kept after 10 lifetime. Now, as we teach, then it is much better. We review everything. So that's why the selfishness of the human, because we want to keep power. The first to the fourth civilization, they do not change. The fifth civilization, we do not change. I tell you the truth. You and me, we are in the fifth civilization, and we do not change. We always want to have power. Everybody want power. I just say in general like that. I don't want anyone in particular or any region. Everyone want to have power, and that power that cause suffering. Even among you yourself, you cause suffering. Listen carefully. When you want to have power, you yourself, among yourself, you have suffering. So how can you deal with others? That's all I can say with you. No more than that. In level 20, I say like this, then you understand. So through this question, I want to share with Margaret as well as all of you. So now one more question. Dear Master and Lady Teresa, I come here without any question, but I have two small gifts from the country for you and also greet you. The first gift is from the General Lê Mã Luân, who is the one who kept the treasure of Vietnam history. I have talked to him. He sent this book as a gift for you. These are the treasure of our fight, and this book would be published in July. And in this book, this is written to show the sacrifice of the body and the soul of many of these unknown soldiers. He is a person who also wounded. He stood in Hanoi and kept your photograph, and he want to send to you the love from Vietnam and ask your permission to be able to join these unknown, the group of unknown soldiers to serve mankind, to serve until the day that all of the human we have a true smile on our face. And the second gift, these are the writings from Mr. Đàm Văn. Đàm Văn is a professor in the university in Hue, and besides his job, he is also an EV practitioner who uses all his time to research and apply universal energy to serve people. He's a person with a truly EV thinking and working in EV, but never think that he's an EV practitioner. So he is a person with an unknown deserve to be your student and send to you all of his writings. And third is from me, dear Master. Recently, I go around from all over the country to visit our beloved country, and I also shed tears to my country with more than 5,000 years. The first time when I met you, I cry in the class. Each time when I think of you, I keep on crying. So now I felt that Vietnam is a spiritual land that gives birth to many of the spiritual people. The Vietnamese people, they have a highly spiritual development in Vietnam with more than 5,000 years of history. And there are so many temples who recorded the 5,000 years, just like the bronze drum. And Vietnam, beside the natural beauty, just like in Ha Long Bay or in Nha Trang Beach. And they have many of the mountain, beautiful mountain that draw a lot of tourists who come to Vietnam. People who come to Vietnam, they feel the love and the compassion from the people in Vietnam, the true people in Vietnam. So I asked Master to let us have a website to introduce the UE in Vietnam with the contents very simple, that perhaps we can summarize that to introduce about the activity of the UE student in Vietnam and to introduce about the country of Vietnam, and to interact in UV with all over the world, so that the new human, and new thinking, and a few of the research documents to share. This website will be maintained by a number of people in Hue, and slowly we would report to you. And I hear that those people who do not have a peace, the homeless people who come to Melbourne. I'm a homeless person right now. Can I come to Melbourne and reside here? That's all I want to ask you. My God, if you come here, then dạ xong rồi thưa thầy. So through the presentation of this student, this is a Vietnamese, but he resides in America, who is also a Vietnamese American. But now he traveled to Vietnam to research from the north to the south, as he presented. I also want to research. I want to share with all of you, but I don't want to keep as a secret. Everything that I learn, I explain and share with all of you. And I know the level of my students all over the world. With everything that I learned from DTs 100, I teach you 100%. Whatever you do, I do the same. There's no change. I do not do any different, because that's what I want. However, as I learned from the DTs, I receive very fast 100%. I share with you, perhaps you can only receive 70, 80%. The best 80%, 5%. I know. However, when I learned on the spiritual path, the deities revealed to me that any group of people, any people who can influence 70%, then we are above the human. If we can influence 70%, then we are above the human. Let's say in any voting, if we are able to have a total of 70%, do not ask for 100%, you may fail. Because we are still eating and wearing, so 70% we are above the humans. That is a lesson 34 years ago I learned from the deities. And whoever said they have the ability 90, 95 or 100%, that is their business. I don't have any comments. Because I learned directly from the deities. I know I want to share with you. Therefore, whatever you want to do to avoid the situation, the difficulty to your region, in your region, anywhere, if it is stabilized, you do not cause problem to anyone, then you can. But if you just think it is appropriate, then you can do it without any problem. To introduce, meaning that you do not advertising, but depending on the fate of the people, they come to learn first or later. This is something that I've been teaching for the past 18 years. So whatever you want to do, with the condition that the website that you mentioned about the country, if it is stabilized in the situation or not. If it is stabilized, if the government in Vietnam support UV to spread all over the world, but in the program to spread all over the world, as UV had been public broadcast all over the world, hopefully in the future the teaching of UV, we would reach the national level, that everything would be different. Perhaps we can develop much stronger and faster, not for myself, not for the UV teaching, but for the country and for the people. Because the country and people, because now I'm a Vietnamese, and the country and the people, if we direct to help to develop spirituality all over the world, then I'm ready to contribute to help without any problem. I tell you the truth. I'm waiting for that. Hopefully, in the government in Vietnam, if they have the same thinking with us to spread all over the world for the benefit of the people in Vietnam, then we can do it. So now we wait for several more months to see if everything is stabilized, then we can do it. It's not too late. Just wait for several more months. It's not more than that. Answer like that. So with the gifts, so I thank those in the Iwi family from my homeland who give me the gifts. So I thank to these people who send me the gifts. Now I told you already, I said from December 1996, I told you, do not fear. If there is a great flood, if there are change on earth, in Australia it is very large. It may divide into 3 parts. We will have the 2 rivers would divide into 3 parts, north, central, south, for example. For that reason, anywhere, if you see that you cannot live, then you can come to the altar, because the altar I cannot hold so much. And my God, you can see at the altar, more or less, 1, 2, 3, 4, only 5 rooms. Only 5 rooms, a maximum of 10%, that will be the most. But now 60 of you in the altar, I don't know how you can share. There's only 2 bathrooms, I don't know. There are 3 bathrooms, so 3 toilets, but 60% stay in there. For those of you, 3 o'clock, you have the class, you have to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. So you stay in line to use the toilet until 2 o'clock, and you go to the bus to the class. And at night, you said you go back home early so you can take a shower, so that you can you have to take a shower from the night. For me, if I'm there, that's what I do, because it is very small. But at least in that way, you live, you stay together. It is fun. But for homeless, if in America you don't have a room, you go to Vietnam, it is much better for you. So it is better for you just to go to Vietnam. My God, I want to go to Vietnam, but I could not get there. I tried to go, but I couldn't get. The moment I go to the aircraft to go there, the aircraft just broke down. It's my luck. So before Holland, I want to update for you a few points. In the case of medical science, I want to share with you. Yesterday, I explained for you about the medical doctors. In Western medicine, in the case of examination and as well applying acupuncture, for pharmacists, you merge, and for the psychologists. For those of you who are psychologists, after you graduate at level 20, the patient come to you. You only need to merge. Then whatever you say, they listen to you, and they can find a cure. In the past, it might take you several months, but now only 1 week, and they can be back to normal. That is the effect, to change the environment, to change the mentality. Then they would regain their health. In the case of dentistry, you worry about the case of using the tooth extraction with the infection, bleeding, or some problem with the gums. So, for those of you who are dentists, when the patient comes to you, you merge to the patient. And when you merge to the patient, then with your hand, no matter what you do, it is always correct, and the person do not feel the pain. Now you can experiment. Let's say in the past, for this, you need to use anesthetic to have a tooth extraction in 3 shots. Now you just do just 1 shot. And whatever you do, they don't feel the pain. In the past, when you do it, they might feel the pain for 3 hours, but now you do it, they don't feel the pain after you merge. At that time, then you feel tired, because they're not complaining because you have more patients, you don't have time to rest. When you do it, they don't feel pain, they don't have any complication or bleeding, then that person will introduce you to others. Only when Master Dang have a class, you just close your clinic, then you can go. Then you will be working on Saturday and Sunday. You know why? On Saturday you take a rest, and on Sunday you don't work. But they keep on asking you, then you have to work. And then you know what is the condition they impose. Normally you work, let's say 500, the cost. On Saturday they ask you to work for them. They pay for you 5 or 3 or 5,000. So you use that money so you can go to the class. This is also real. You will be busy on this, because you do 1 but you can earn 10. Then you can take a rest. It doesn't mean that you work all Sunday or Saturday or Sunday. In Vietnamese, they said that you have a lot of customers. And also you have rich customers. You do 1, they pay you 10. Not anyone in particular. When this happens, rest assured, it is not that you request, they volunteer to give to you, that you keep. What else can you do? It is your own work. Instead of you work and to earn 500,000, but they give you more, then you can keep. In any situation in the future, you don't see any problem when you do a tooth extraction or working on filling with the teeth. In the past you had the problem, but now you don't have to worry. All you need is you merge with the patient, then you can help the patient easily with less cost in terms of the time that you work on the patient. Now in Holland, for question in Holland.
Okay. Dear Master, first of all, I would like to express my happiness. Yes, first of all, I would like to express my happiness of being here, gathered with all these people, working together for the benefit of the world. There is one issue, Master, that is puzzling me. In the document that you sent us just before this seminar, you explained that you are very happy when we no longer call for your help and stop asking questions because we are in doubt. Because when we stop asking to you, this means we have grown to maturity. On the first day of this seminar, you told us that we are receiving the new souls of level 20 at the end of this week on Sunday, and that until then, with our souls of level 19, we still need to ask your soul, the soul of Master Dang, to merge with our souls of level 19 before we ourselves can merge or transfer energy. And this first day, you told us that at the end of this seminar, when we no longer exercise, but when we really practice, we no longer need to do this. Because then we will have received these souls that are equal to your soul, a soul that comes from far away and never has been to this world before. I was very pleased to hear this, because indeed, then our souls, as yours, are part of the Almighty, with similar powers and abilities to help each and every soul to the light and to convince them to work with us. So I understood that from the end of this seminar we can transfer energy and merge without your help, just by having the faith and the trust that the Almighty is merging with us, is helping us when we act as His instruments to help the world and all living creatures. But then yesterday you seemed to withdraw a part of what you said on this first day. We still need to ask your soul to merge with ours before we can act. Does this mean that after all we are not as mature as you hoped us to be on this first day? What made you change your mind on this point? I would very much like to understand. Thank you.
Now let me explain for you. On the first day, as I teach you, I did not forget. You listened carefully. you're still missing one part. I repeat for you. I teach, I do not forget. The four civilization from the first time on earth that merged to all of you, more than 1,500 of you in this level 20. My soul from far away, who never been on this earth, who merged to the body of Master Lảo Minh ĐÁNG. And there are many other souls from far away who come to this earth that combine with the soul of Master ĐÁNG to carry out this task. Eventually, you, me, all of us, we would know these people, not just only Master ĐÁNG. And eventually, you would know, you will understand. And I also wish that 1,541 of you here, you would be just like this new soul never been on earth. And that your soul, you wish for this, the new soul. I teach you, I do not forget. So in all 5 continents, there will be not just only Master Lảo Minh ĐÁNG alone. So these people combined with me, combined with you, then we have everything. I do not want to introduce that person as A, B, or C, or who are near or far from me, but I know. Even if we don't, we know. Because we're all together, we come down here with the same task, so that's why we know. I remember very clear. So through this question, I explained for you clearly. My point is, as Master ĐÁNG have, they have, so the soul from the 4 civilization, they will have, just like the wish of the soul never been on earth, meaning to have wisdom and enlightenment, that we do not tie to power struggle. Now they are learning to detach from power struggle, to learn the good lesson is fast, but to learn the bad lesson, they spend billions of years to learn, millions of years they could not achieve from this bad lesson. Now they are learning. They're not learning from Master ĐÁNG, they're learning from the soul Master ＤÁNG, using the body of Master ＤÁNG to teach you, so that they also listen. They're not appear yet. When they appear, then for sure you will understand. That is how I explain for you in that way. I teach you, I remember 15 years ago I teach, I do not forget. Now I'm just teach you only a few days. I'm not mistaken on this. So you can rest assured. My point is, just like in 1992, for the first time, my body and my soul traveled out to space, completely disappeared. I did not believe. I meditated for 4 hours. I prayed to the deities. I presented to the deities. Only when Master ＤÁNG can teach the student of Master ＤÁNG, who can transform into energy, travel out to space, then I believe. Then, as yesterday I clearly explained for you, when I trained you in the level 16, when you practice to travel out to space, then I believe in the deities 99%, not 100%, not even 100%, only 99%. The remaining 1% is, how can I neutralize nuclear radiation in the air when you breathe in and you are still able to live and still be healthy. I'm waiting for that sign. So the deities had prepared everything for me. To prepare the antenna, to prepare the UV water, in all of the preparation, so that you are able to receive the powerful virus that in the air, to see if we can live or we die. This is something I'm waiting. As I'm waiting from now to the end of the first decade of 21st century. It's not too long. Perhaps next month, or perhaps next year, or maybe next week. Who knows? That is how I can clarify for you. So, you listen to my presentation. In the past, in 6 days, you try to, you can apply one. When you go back home, a week later, perhaps you apply, you do it 100 times, 1,000 times more. You prepare. You have the ability. How can you contribute? Try your best to do it. Then in the future, you and me, all of us, we will work all together. If you can do it, if you can do it well, then these beings from this 4 civilization, they will become, they will give up the place to that being from far away who never been on earth. And and they will return back to the place of this being from far away. So that's how I present to you. My wish is for you to have this, not only me. Because if you have just like me, then you and me will become one to contribute to help mankind, to have wisdom and enlightenment. It doesn't mean that I want to keep it all for myself. If I want to keep it just for myself, I only teach a few people to open chakra, 100%. I will teach 1,541 of you, and there are other students in level 19 who come and learn with me, so more or less 2,000 of you. So more or less 2,000 of you who have the ability to open chakra 100% and transfer energy to level 4, to all the students who come to learn in UE school in the beginning levels. That is how I clarify for you. So you try your best to do it, to contribute, to help your country, your neighbors. They are no strangers. Next question.
Good morning, Master. I thank you very much for having allowed me to attend the course. I have two questions. The first one concerns the prohibition that you did about us being able to merge with each other among us students of level 20 because we are the same level, but actually, don't you think that we are all different and we're not at the same level, actually? And why should we not be able to merge with each other if we are at the same level? Because we have doctors, we have nurses, we have engineers, but we have also cleaners in the streets. So the levels are different. The level of intelligence and anything else is different. So why shouldn't we be able to merge with each other, to help each other? It's only a very earthy material question. Second question. It's a technical question. We have a technique to help people who could not sleep properly. Do we use the same technique, or should we change the technique to help people sleep because they're insomniacs?
Dạ, xin hết thưa thầy. Now, as you know, in society, they have different levels. In a material way, it is different. But the others, the spiritual ones, they do not allow you because they have the ability, because they have been the master of many of these masters. So they do not allow you. Now they are learning the new one. As they are learning not to be selfish. They learn to detach from the power struggle. That is what they are learning. And they do not agree for others. They have powers already. So when doctor, engineer is not even, sometimes you are not equal to the business person. I tell you the truth. In Australia, it is very unique. The doctor and engineer, they work, but maybe they work, but they do not earn equal to people who are working laborer or gardener. And many of these people who are working on the pipe, and they make a lot of money, and their wife, they are leading a wealthy lifestyle, and the wife can go around and just play around. The husband is working, just working on the pipes. So now who's better than the one who are working in the pipe? They learn only to 10th grade in high school, but they work and earn more. He just tightened the screw on the pipe. They only work 5 days, and on Saturday and Sunday they go around fishing, and they make hundreds of thousands of dollars, and their wife leading a wealthy lifestyle. and while the other doctors working very hard, but they do not earn that much. Do not think that you are a doctor, engineer, and you're a pharmacist. You may wear suits, but you don't have enough money. You go shopping, then this month you have to calculate your bill, all the bills, eating, the car, house, and you don't have enough money. Then today you only take, you can only buy 3 box of cigarettes. You don't have enough money. You can see. So the reason I do not let you merge because this soul do not allow you. You do not know between one person and another whose soul is higher than other. Even if you are high, they do not allow you. So if you are low, how can you merge to the one who are higher? So on that, when you ask that question, that is only the means for you to learn. You need to remember that for the past 2 days as well as today, the first, the second, the third, the fourth civilization, they are equal to each other in the advanced level, but they cannot get rid of their habit, selfishness, and power struggle that caused chaos to the human world for millions of years until now. They could not change. They can never change. Therefore, the stranger soul who come down here as a mediator to explain to them on this. This strange soul who merged to the Master Lảo Minh ĐÁNG, I tell you the truth, to mediate and to explain so that this being who can understand not to be selfish, and in the case of power struggle, then the human will be able to benefit. I want you to be able to achieve this. In the future, when a new soul comes to you, and that is soul with wisdom and enlightenment, with the wisdom and enlightenment, these are the new souls that come to you, not a normal souls. If you can understand from that perspective, then you feel very lucky and happy. If you see this and you don't accept it, then it's your own fault. And when you lose it, then it's so difficult for you to find it again, because this one, when you lose it, it is lost forever. If it is there, you can keep forever. If it is lost, it's lost forever. The mission of these people, nobody can protect you. It is their mission. They will protect your body, so that a new soul from our far away who come here, so that they can mediate with all of these souls, so they can understand. And these are the souls who can help you, can help the humankind to evolve faster, to help you and help the humankind to have wisdom and enlightenment, so that we can have paradise on earth. That you and me, we volunteer to do it first. That is the reason how come I do not allow you to merge when you are in level 20. You can merge to the people who are in level 19 and lower. That's no problem. That's how I explain for you. Now, my God, you don't need to sleep. If you're not able to sleep, you are lucky. So now, or they couldn't sleep, they feel tired. So now, because you don't sleep much, now even to sleep is so easy. My God, it's so easy. I just show you for the past few days. Now tonight, if you could not sleep, you just merge to a few people, then you fall asleep, then your body will be snoring. For you yourself, if you have a problem sleeping, you'll be sleeping easily, because when you try to practice to travel to space, when your body follow your soul, then you just snore. So I explain for you. For others with problem with insomnia, you can apply on the first day. You merge 3 times to the body of that person. If they can sleep, then you can merge 1 time. If you keep on merging 3 times, then they will be sleeping. They could not go to work, and then they'll be sleeping a lot. Because with your energy, when you merge to the soul of that person, to help that person, so that person can sleep calmly. So you need to remember, on the first time, merge 3 times. When they can sleep, then you just merge 1 time. Make sure you take note carefully to help that person. For those with problem with insomnia. Next question.
Cher Maître, chère Teresa.
Dear Master, dear Teresa, I have 2 questions. The first one concerns bad omen. When people are putting a sorcerer's, how do you say that, appeal on you? What can you do? How can we fight against a sorcerer who has been putting a spell on you? I was looking for the word. We have progressed a lot during those years, during all those levels, but still we have lost lots of we have lost part of our soul. And when I look at people, and myself of course, I feel like I have lost some part of my soul. How can we recover that part that has been lost throughout the years within the school? Thank you, Master.
Now, as you ask these two questions, I want to share with you so you can understand, so you can feel glad. Listen carefully. You know this. Do you know where they learn the black magic from? They learn from these fifth civilization. All of the sorcerers, the best in the world, they learn from this fifth civilization, meaning this race of people that we are living right now. The soul that come to you from the 29th of July, these are the one from the first to the fourth generation, meaning these are the master of this sorcerer. Listen carefully. So do this sorcerer dare to do something to you? Just calculate it from a human perspective, only in that way. So don't worry about it. So instead of worrying about it, you just merge to this sorcerer to help this soul to evolve higher so they can do better things, to evolve. There's no problem with that. This is something you can do. The deities allow you to do. You are helping, you are not harming them. Now, you don't have to worry about it. I explained for you. So you keep on confused about this. For that reason, I teach you each day in 7 hours, in 6 days, so that I can clear all of this thing that deep in your mind you have doubts, so that you can lead a life merging with the high soul. Now you want to look back to the soul from the level 19 that are lost. They are very close to you. Eventually, the smooth situation that happen, that in your family, your children, your spouse, your parents, everything will be smooth. The deities have the ability to send one soul here and there, and this soul know everything. Then if you want to be close to them, to find them, they are close to you. In the past, for example, you have opposition in your family, your spouse, your children, you have opposition. Sometimes they oppose you, or sometimes you do not like them, but now you love them, and you can see the change right now. If you want to see the change, now if you see the change, to change in your family so everything is smooth. That is, these are the souls from the 18th time of the change. These are the souls that come to your family. If you wish, they are right close to you already. You're lying right close to you already. This is the truth. There are no strangers. However, sometimes as your soul going north, south, east, west, and suddenly you see that person and you feel for that person that is a stranger. In the past, you do not do this. You do not like this. You do not feel for this stranger. But when you see a stranger, suddenly you feel for this stranger. That, if you want to find them, now you can find these people. Suddenly you feel that for, and that person also see you and come to you with a feeling, emotion. Doesn't mean that you just take that person to go into the room. If you do that, then you would die. If you want to find this lost soul, for your soul, it is so difficult to do that in the soul. Now, this is the truth I share with you. Now, for all of you, your soul, as you evolve, you progress, they are quite close to you, your family members. They are no strangers. If you can understand like this, if you know to avoid the situation, when you go out, do not cause problem. Even if you want to stir to cause problem, you cannot, because your body, sometimes your body doesn't know, but your soul knows. through the journey, these people in the past, these are the people, these are the souls that come from you. Now in the level 20, I explain for you like this, that in the past on earth, they never exist. The fourth and the fifth civilization on earth, they did not have this ability. I explain for you. Now you try your best to learn to do it. So you have the chance. You are able to help your family. If you want to help your loved one, your family, and as they leave the body and they go on to the other, these are your loved one. Through this question, I explain for you that in the future, if you need, if you wish, then your loved one, if they die, then you can bring their soul to another body, and as you are able to have so many wandering souls to reincarnate already, this is not the first time. You remember that. When you are only in level 3, with your chakra open 100%, when you are in level 7, when you go by the cemetery, when you go by the castles, only with your presence, you are not even praying. With your energy alone, all of the soul, the lower soul, they are evolving to the light. You don't even pray. Now, you also are from the 4 civilizations. They are very highly advanced. They are even more advanced than the 5th civilization, 100, 1,000 times better. So you don't have to worry about the sorcerers. In the past, you were in level 7, and the sorcerer would not dare to let you come to their house. So now you are in level 20. You can see that. So don't worry about this. Try your best to carry out. Then you prepare. It is you would do it. The acquaintance, the people who have the capacity. For example, you have a close friend. You have a close friend who is a scholar, and suddenly your close friend dies. If you want to help him, you want to help him to evolve, you can. It's so easy. The difficult one, you can do it. You see someone, then you can help his soul to merge into that body. That is your close friend. And to see suddenly that new person in the future, that person will come to you, and this is how you can help this body. This body is a stranger, never knew you. You can help in this sense. This is something you can do. So you don't worry. Do not worry about these issues. With everything that I taught you in level 20, try your best to do it. The more you can do it, the better. Why? So that these new souls will feel pleased, and to help your body to complete the mission in a smooth way, not with opposition. In the level 19, you have opposition. In the level 20, everything will be smooth for you. Listen carefully. That is how I can clear your mind to help you, so you can rest assured, so you can prepare to continue on this journey to help all of the people, all of the souls on earth. Now the 4th question in Holland.
Thank you. Master, good morning. Mr. Riza, good morning. Thank you. I'm very happy to have this opportunity today to ask at least one question. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Juan. I'm from Aruba, Dutch Caribbean in the Southern Caribbean. I would like to send our regards from our team in Aruba to our team in Thailand. The question is the following, Master. In your writing from just before this seminar, level 20, that you have sent us, you have mentioned that the deities allow the establishment of the Yui teaching. to us, and each of us should have a self-realization in order to find the truth and to know it. In the advanced seminar of the Oriental philosophy, you analyzed the concept of God and man and God. And you have mentioned here that we are gods. Could you elaborate some more on this terminology or this phrase, and how do we have to live with this during our enlightenment? Thank you.
Now, through the presentation from the student from Aruba who come to Holland to learn, I teach you to merge with the deities, to merge with the high beings. These are from the fifth civilizations. You listen carefully now. The fifth civilization that we refer to them as the high beings. The deities, God as a terminology that we make up. In many countries in the world, we have the notion of God, and they call themselves as the high being, but they are from the fifth civilizations. God is a terminology that we refer to God as a man. It is not that the highest being as God, but from the East, we keep on referring to like replacing the deities, representing God to carry out on earth. Jesus Christ just like is God. Jesus Christ is from the fifth civilization. Remember, it is not that Jesus Christ is from the first, second, or third, fourth civilization. As we know, about 2,000 years ago, as a person that was born in Israel with the name Jesus Christ, that was in the fifth civilization. Now listen carefully. It's not in the fourth, third, or second, or first civilization, but it's as you really like. So you make up these names. God, the notion of the high being. The high being merge with you because you are in a fifth civilization. They can merge with you so easily. If we know how, that is a technique. As you practice, the deities allow you to come from the fifth civilization. They come to you, it's so easy. But from the first to the fourth to come to you is so difficult. But how come you can do it? It is not that I have any talent. I don't. Master Dang is just like you. Only the strange soul from outer space that come here, then all of the civilization in the past, they have to accept. Because these four civilizations in the past, they are all highly advanced. They want to dominate the others. So that's why the fifth one, they don't have any ability. Do you see anyone with powers, even including the best person? That the archaeologists, they come to research. Everybody come to Egypt to research. I also came to Egypt. The body of Master Lảo UNG came to Egypt to research. But when they came to Egypt, I saw everything was not like that. We could not achieve just like the fourth civilization or the third. And luckily, the fifth civilization from Egypt, the people from Egypt, they could not carry out. So they transfer that knowledge to Master Dang. That before I taught you in the class, before I went to Egypt, this master in Egypt, this master sent me the message. I was very lucky. I was able to answer to them. If I'm not, then now I'm going to be stuck. They said that Master Dang, who come here, they help Master Dang with the condition that I have to help the country of Egypt to develop spirituality. You know how Master Dang answered? I said, no. I can help the people of Egypt to develop. I do not dare to help the country of Egypt. You know why? If I said that I promise to help the country of Egypt to develop on the spiritual path, if the land of Egypt with the great flood is sunk, how can I deal with it? I'm ready to help the people of Egypt all over the world to develop on a spiritual path. I would help them if they come to me. But the country of Egypt, I cannot guarantee. I cannot do it. Because in a great flood, it would influence many countries, except any country that the deities want to keep, so that for the humans, it is up to the deities who decide the fate of the land. That's how I clarify so that you can understand this aspect. So now you think carefully, as I say, so you can learn. The fifth civilization, is there anyone who have the wisdom, enlightenment, just like the fourth civilization, meaning the people of Atlantis? Is there anyone? No. In recent years, I had mentioned to you, even though these masters from Atlantis, they have the real power. But can they merge to anyone? No. One of the strange things, they only create powers and selfishness. For many situations, they had their mission and they could not teach or spread the knowledge. Therefore, I want to present to you, as I come here, I combine all from all four civilizations, combining with the fifth civilization, so we know, so we can combine all together the five civilizations from the first to the fifth civilization, that we have to have wisdom, enlightenment, to develop the true love among the humans without any discrimination among the races. That is my point I want to share with you. If the fifth civilization, we are dividing into many parts, especially for the past 25 centuries, it is we have so much division in here. It's so complicated. In the past, only with power struggle that caused suffering in the world already. So now I combine all five civilizations on earth. My soul use the body of Master Lảo UNG MINH ĐÁNG to combine, to support with all the five civilizations on earth, so that we can become one, the human with true love toward each other, without power struggle, only know to love and help each other. All the people would be like that, then everything will be calm and peaceful. That will be the great light that comes to earth, to this planet where we live. That is how I explain for you clearly. And now if you keep on saying of all of any civilization, this soul do not agree. So now I'm from the fifth civilization, my body. But my soul is not from the fifth civilization. In the past, from the fifth or other civilization, but now, no. It never been on earth, so it doesn't belong to any civilization, because it was only out in space. Come here to mediate to all of the civilizations, so they all hold hands together. And it's also in coincidence with the fifth civilization that combined with all five continents, Asia, Africa, Europe, Africa and Australia. So now with that, we will have the clean air all over the world. For that reason, how come I only believe in the deities 99%, 1% meaning the case of nuclear radiation, when we breathe that air, do we die? Are we affected by the environment? If we can clear it, then everything can change for the whole human world. On that day, it's very near us. For that reason, all the soul that merged with you, that is to solve this problem. And when we can do it, then we are helping so many others, as many others who can achieve. Then in the near future, they would have the wisdom and enlightenment, just like you, just like all of us. That is how I present to you clearly. Now, Thailand, it's your turn.
Hello, dear Master Nung. Hello, Lady Teresa. I would like to thank higher beings for being here today. I hope in a not so distant past, I was unable to imagine that I could be serving, doing such an important mission. I'm thanking you, higher beings, and I would try to behave properly. Today, dear Master, today I'm asking your help with an important problem of mine. It was this very problem that brought me here to Universal Energy. My son is 27 years old. It's been 9 years now that he suffers from real mental disease. Working with him, I noticed that as soon as he starts feeling a little better, he starts drinking, stealing, becomes aggressive, doesn't respect his relatives, and even sometimes thinks about killing them. We are living, 4 of us together, my husband, me, my son, and my daughter. All of us look differently to his disease. My 18-year-old daughter sees a lazy person who doesn't want to work. My husband sees him as a sick person who creates trouble to others, and I want to heal him using universal energy, which they don't really accept so very much, even though my husband and my daughter did level 3 and level 4 respectively. What could you say, dear Master? What could you advise me to do? Thank you very much.
Now let me explain for you for the past few days. Just like recently a student who asked, as you know, you have the ability to merge collectively as you love your husband, your children. First, starting from now, yesterday, today, and the following days, you transfer energy directly to them and then merge 3 times to the husband and your children. When you go back home, everything will be smooth. Everything will be calm and peaceful for you. And as this student who asked, your son and your daughter will help you to repay everything that you've been losing in the past, meaning as a higher soul will merge to your body to help you with a smooth way, so that the new soul that comes to your body, so you can complete the mission to help other people, because you dare to sacrifice to serve. All the problems, all of the difficulties that you face, many of you, the EWE that have presented to me this time in the level 20. This time the soul from the level 20, this is the highest soul that come to solve all the problems that your body had faced. So you have a smooth way to continue on your journey to help mankind. That this new soul need you. So with the new mission that you have, the new soul that help your body, so that everything will be smooth for you, so you can help other people. So you don't have to worry about this. Not just this student. There are many other students for the past few days, as you mentioned to me, in the case of the problem in the past few years, the problem that when you come to learn, or any situation, a problem that you face, starting from now, today, in the future, try your best to merge, to transfer energy, so that when you go back home, everything will be peaceful and calm for you. So now, as I've been teaching you for almost 3.5 hours, now we'll take 1 hour break, and then we can really come back. So try to come back on time. So now we'll take a break.